let's talk about IT as an index. Let's try and understand what really is happening with the Naukri Jobs Peak Index, what the takeaways are, and what the overall trends within the IT sector hiring have been. Chintan Thakkar from InfoEd joins us on the show right now. Chintan, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. A sharp dip, Chintan, in August versus July. Was July, you think, then an aberration, or is August an aberration?
Well, August, must clarify this that the jobs ping index is essentially derived from the activities that happens on our platform. In a sense that the people who do the searches on our database, the job that gets posted and all that, right? Now, in August was somewhat unique because what happened is that there were quite a few holidays which bunched together. It was the Independence Day, Parsi New Year, Janmashtami, Raksha Bandhan, all were in that kind of 7 days type of time frame, and that made an impact. So when we look at the daily kind of the movement, and there was a sharp decline in those around 7 days time, right? So that is impacting what the numbers looks like in jobs big index. So I would say that August is somewhat in operation. But if you look at last 6 months, kind of a trend, it seems that looks like that there's a kind of it's bottomed out, and maybe we'll move forward from here. At least the worst seems to be over from last 6 months trend.
You think a meaningful recovery, Chintan, is still a few quarters away, and do you have visibility on a timeline?
Hard to really say timeline, but like I said that if you look at last 6 months time, and even if I look at the 4 quarters before that, it looks like that it's a kind of a U curve type of recovery. So we have kind of gone a little bit down, particularly on the IT hiring side. We have for a few quarters remained flattish, and there are some green shoots now on the IT side. Non-IT in any case seems to be growing. So that's a positive outlook. So we are hoping that it's a U-shaped recovery, and we have tried from here it will go upwards.
Okay, morning. Now, your hiring trend per experience shows that while the 16-year plus category did see an uptick, it's the entry level that has slipped. And I'd imagine that this trend would be a bit worrying for freshers. So, how are you looking at it? Are you seeing some sort of a reversal coming in? And what are the things or factors that freshers really need to keep in mind in light of this data?
Yeah, I think this is the result of the IT services companies. If you look at their numbers and if you look at their commentaries, it seems that they have kind of completely removed their benches. So the benches have gone down. The utilization rates have gone up. So utilization rates for most of the IT services companies are at their peak level. So hopefully this should result in the months to come, and there will be some pressure hiring as well because the utilization rates have peaked, and people and this IT services company really do not have benches available to them. So maybe that would be a positive news for the freshers.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what about, the data point that indicates that, that less number of freshers now or young people are really opting for a CA, a CFA, and now they are looking towards more skill-based or AI-based tech careers. Is that something that you're observing?
Yeah, I think that's not a recent trend. I would say that that has been the trend, since quite few years. Engineering and the skill-based, job opportunities, are far more attractive for the, for the upcoming generation, and that's the trend that we have seen. Even if you see it, this index shows very clearly that people who are on the field of AI and ML, that seems to be the hot button, and there seems to be a lot more jobs available in that area. And that's why you will see a lot more people who are doing engineering, or even people who are doing, on the finance side, they will do some or the other course which will help them, in the analytics and the AI, the ML side of the career.
And, given that it is a skill that now one needs to really be equipped with, I guess that doesn't really come as a surprise. But I just wanted to understand, are there any signs of a talent war of sorts when it comes to the hospitality space?
That also seems to be increasing hospitality, the kind of area. But I think there is a lot more activity happening in tier two town. So if it's the talent is available hyper local or in those particular town, I think that's what is getting the attraction from the hospitality sector. So I wouldn't really so it's in kind of pockets. So I wouldn't see that that's a real kind of talent war. It's all about the availability of supply in that pocket where the new centers are coming.
What about the healthcare segment as well? If you could give some color or not on that, doctors, nurses with cities, areas have seen any hiring trends?
Yeah, I think healthcare. If you look at not only last month, but if you look at past few months as well, healthcare seems to be doing well. There seems to be shortage of paramedical and nurses and all the kind of Medicare staff, and that seems to be a shortage. Clearly that's what the demand and supply gap suggests.
Okay, thank you for joining in and giving us a sense as to what the latest trends are when it comes to hiring individual sectors and how now we're seeing an increased demand for very skill-based jobs as well as what freshers are really opting for.